totally awesome fishing show. We're out aboard the 17-foot Wilson Flyer high sea drifter, our filming boat. We're going to be trying to compare our big sounder with a Deeper, which is a castable one, because we think if we anchored up tide from this wreck, we might be able to feed the Deeper back over the wreck. But don't forget, an echo sounder can see the wreck and it might have a bit of side scan, but it can't see 40 yards away down there in shallow water, whereas the Deeper can be fed back and wound in, and we might see something. Look, we don't know what we're going to do with it, we don't know what we're going to see with it, we don't even know if we're going to catch any fish.
So on our boat sounder here, you can see that it's reading about 15.4, 15.3 metres of the depth. So that's from the top of the boat down to the seabed is about 15.4 average. There's not much, it's relatively flat here. It is broken ground, it is rough ground, but it's relatively flat. We are near a wreck, but there's no kind of big steep peaks and things like that. But depth is about 15.3, 15.4 metres. So now I'm going to put the Deeper just by the side of the boat. Well, there we go. The Deeper's just out from the boat. It's not far away. It's about an arm's length away from the boat. And I want to get the best reading possible to see what it is and compare it to the depth that the boat was reading. Well, as you can see, the Deeper is reading 15.3 metres there, 15.4 metres, so it's spot on the same as what the boat Fishfinder was seeing. It's also picking up that weed as well, which is really good. The boat one did as well. But the boat one, our boat one, wasn't reading the water temperature at the time. The Deeper one is reading water temperature here as well. And there is actually a really cool weather app kind of built in. You can check the weather over here, and it gives you kind of for your current location your weather. You've got your moon phases, you've got the wind direction, south-southeast, humidity, really good, quite detailed, and you can change it for your favourite locations and everything like that. But what we're going to do now is picking up fish close to the boat, but we're going to trot the Deeper back now, just to about where our baits will be, and just get an idea of what depths the fish are at, basically nearer our baits. Well, here we go. We've done the depth reading test, and it's the same as the boat Fishfinder. Now I'm going to trot the Deeper back, just to get an idea of what is going on over our baits. So all I'm doing is I've just got an open bail arm here, and I'm just feeding out line. Every time the Deeper pulls the line a bit tighter, I'm just feeding out a bit more line. And obviously for those of you who are worried if you're sea fishing with a Deeper about casting your Deeper out, this is almost as handy with the tide. It's just a better way to just trot the Deeper out. It goes exactly where your baits and your line is going. So you get a really accurate reading right above your baits, what depths the fish are at. Now the tide is starting to turn, so the boat's starting to swing a bit as well. But I'll leave it out, I'll trot it back probably about 15 yards, I'd say, 15, 20 yards. And we'll see what it is picking up. So the Deeper's about 20 metres now behind the boat. It's getting towards our baits. And interestingly, it's pinging fish at a much lower depth than the fish were, than it was when they were close at the boat. And that's because the chum bags that we've got up, which is mashed up fish, the chum bags that we've got up are attracting, as it goes out, that chum is near the surface. As it goes with the tide, it starts to sink and sink and sink, and that's when it gets down towards our baits, which are further at the back of the boat. And obviously that's showing us with the fish. They're up close, those mackerel and small fish near the chum bag when I had the Deeper right near the boat. But as it goes further back and it trots back towards our baits, that chum is sinking, and actually the fish are showing it at a deeper depth as well. So it's all showing positive signs of some fish. So fish are showing at about 11 metres, 10 metres, which is good because that's where our baits are. And all we're going to do is really just keep trotting our baits back every now and then, just so that they're on the bottom. I'm also, I don't know if you can see, but on the left here, I'm mapping, as you cast out with the Pro Plus, it maps what you do. So I've had a couple of casts around the boat, I've trotted the Deeper back, and what I'm going to do now is go onto the history setting on the app, which allows me to go back a certain period of time. For me, I've only been casting for about 10 minutes, so it's easily going to go back over all that time that I've been recording with it, and then I can get an idea of what fish are where, what kind of depths they're at around the boat, not just here and behind the boat, but around the boat as well. Well, we've got all the rods out. It's like a porcupine at the moment, this boat, with all the rods, and it's been, I'd say, 25 minutes, half an hour We had a little tap on this rod and I'm into a fish here. And by the way it's planing in the water, I've got the feeling it's a ray. But we can't complain about the weather conditions. Spot on, aren't they, Dad, really?
This
well,
is
spot on for suntan.
This is the English summer, it's lasting 2 days.
2 days, yeah. We'll get rain soon.
Then we put all our t-shirts on eBay.
Yeah.
That was slightly left of the wreck, that one.
Little thorny.
Can you see anything?
Yeah, I've got him here. Here he comes. I thought by the way it's playing in the water. Yeah, nice little thorny. Lovely markings on it. Look at the markings on that.
And how clear is the water?
Look at that, yeah. Brilliant. Get him in, get there. I think he's quite well hooked there, so get him in, unhook him, have a little look.
And get that bait out.
Whoa, here we go, get him up, get him up, get him up. There we go. Thornback ray. And it's a female.
Chunk of squid, wasn't it?
Chunk of squid on that one, yeah. It's quite well hooked on one of Dad's trusty rusty hooks.
Trusty and rusty.
Trusty rusty. It's now in my hand, so it's obviously sharp enough. Look at the markings on this fish. One of the things about thornback ray, they have lovely, lovely markings. And actually a lot of the rays in British waters do have really nice markings, don't they?
Oh yeah, it can be pretty. And the one that they do get out here off the eastern white grounds is the underdip ray. And they get really big ones, and they're stunning patterns on them.
And that's
their crushing molars, as they call them.
I've got my hands just in between the kind of the cheekbones really here. There's a bone here, a bit of cartilage or bone. Well, there we go, look at that. My first tope of 2016. My first tope in probably 2 or 3 years. The small one, you know, compared to what you normally can catch, but pound for pound, they're very good fighters. Related to the shark species, they do have teeth. Small little teeth there. Don't get your hands near them. But great fighting species here in the UK. They generally, when they take, they absolutely slam the bait, as we just had a screaming reel.